Today we're going to take a look at how we can program a triangle of Pascal in Python. So we are going to do it with recursion. So the first thing you have to know about the triangle of Pascal is what it is. So I can show it to you like this. So basically it's really simple. So you see this 2 here, you get by adding up 2 stone numbers. And so this 3 you get by adding up 1 and 2, you get 3, 2 and 1, you get 3. So you can go on, 1 plus 3 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4, 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is how we get the triangle of Pascal. And how we are going to represent it in Python is with lists. So actually nested lists, so lists of lists. So we start with the 1, and then each row will get its own list, like this. And so on. So the main concept of recursion is that you start with something trivial. Sorry. And then you go to something smaller. So you have your main problem, that's creating a triangle of Pascal in recursion. And then you have to reduce it to a smaller problem. So how are we going to reduce it to a smaller problem? I'm going to show that to you. First of all, the trivial thing is here that you start with on height 1, you start with the only thing that the triangle of Pascal has, and that's 1. And we're going to look at the smaller problem, and that's the triangle on height -1. So this is how we are going to apply our recursion. So we're going to start with a definition of our function. So triangle, and with only one parameter, and is the height. So the trivial thing, yeah, that's what we start with, is if our height is equal to 1, we return 1. So that's a trivial part of recursion. And then we have to split our problem into smaller compositions. So what we are going to look at is our current list. And that will be 1. So each row is a list, so each row that is a list will start with a 1. So we can always assume that our current line, let's be it here, on height 1, 2, 3, 4. So on height 4, our current line starts with 1. Then what we need to calculate our second and third numbers, we need our previous line. So we're going to ask for the history of the triangle, and that is our triangle on height -1. And so this is where the magic comes in, because this is where you use your recursion. We need, so yeah, on height -1 we have this thing, but what we need to calculate this number is only this row. So this will be the last row in our history. So our previous line will be our history, but the last row of the history, so the last list in our history. Then for every I in the range of height minus 2, we are going to append the values to our current list. So which values are we going to append? Well, we are going to append 1 plus 2 is 3. So this previous line of I plus previous line of I plus 1. So what we really do here is going to our previous line, that's this one, and we're going to add up the number on index 0 and on index 1. So this thing here, range height minus 2, so we are on height 4, minus 2 is a range of 2, so that will say that we will going throughout this for loop 2 times. So our range is 4 minus 2, so that equals to a range of 2, so it will say 1 and 0. These are the 2 indexes that we are going to watch here. So it will say that the first time it is 0 and 0 plus 1, so that's this one and this one. And the second thing we are going to append is the previous line of I with index 1, and then 1 plus 1 is the second one, so that's this number. And then we are going to add this and this, so this is this, and this the E plus I, the I plus 1 is 1, and I is 2, so we add those things together and we come to true. And the only thing we need to do in the end is to append another 1, because you see each row ends with a 1. And at the end we can return our triangle. That will be the history plus the last list, and that's the current one. And this will give us a list of lists with the triangle of Pascal. So I hope this video helped you out a bit, and I think it's really interesting to implement this thing in Python.